Money is a loaded subject, especially in spiritual circles, and I am here to change that. Oh, yes. This episode is a public declaration of my purpose to embody wealthy as I guide and support world-changing women to make millions in service to love. I'm Christella Cucci. You're listening to the Embody Wealthy podcast, the lightning path for world-changing women to make millions, embody wealthy, and create the life you imagine aligned with the greater good. If you're interested to explore working with me, please visit embodyyourlegacy.com to learn about upcoming programs and coaching opportunities. Welcome to today's deep dive into pain and pleasure and how to use them as fuel to create the life you imagine. You may have noticed the name of the podcast has changed from the Soul Purpose podcast to the Embody Wealthy podcast. What does Embody Wealthy mean? Embody Wealthy is focused on awakening in and through your body, not by trying to transcend your body or the struggle and challenges of human experience. Being human includes pain and pleasure and an extreme spectrum of what it's like to be human in this time in history. The challenges of being human and your pain body are the focus of shadow body integration, while your pleasure is the focus of pleasure body activation. This podcast is focused on how you can use everything. Yes, everything. Every experience, every ecstasy, every tragedy, and everything in between as fuel for your creative fire, and to embody your version of wealthy. First, that means you have to discover what embody wealthy looks and feels like for you, and to clear away the beliefs, the trauma, and cultural indoctrination that keeps you from discovering what you desire, asking for what you desire, and receiving what you desire. Discover, ask, receive. This is infinitely more complex for women. Let me say that again, since especially for women, this golden trifecta will unlock the wealth, health, and great love you desire to create. Discover what you desire, ask for what you desire, and receive what you desire. What is shadow body integration and pleasure body activation? Shadow body integration is learning to be with the intensity of experience that lives inside your body, mind, heart, and soul. To deeply receive your experience while minimizing resistance. Feeling is healing, even if you don't like it. The world is really intense right now, and the dominant cultural conditioning gives you a very narrow spectrum of what you should feel comfortable experiencing. Shadow body integration is the practice of being where you are, sitting in the soup of your humanness, and skillfully navigating being human without trying to get rid of it or pretend it isn't happening. Shadow body integration offers tools to look at your shadow and the collective shadow in the eyes and not turn away, but instead to use the intensity of your pain, shadow, challenges, and the problems in your life and in the world as fuel for your creative soul fire. On the opposite end of the spectrum, women are often very limited in your capacity to experience pleasure, like it's a forbidden taboo or something. Oh yeah, that's right. In many traditions, it is taboo for a woman to experience pleasure, especially in her body, sensuality, and sexuality. For a woman, it's a sacred act of rebellion to know what you desire, to ask for what you desire, and to receive what you desire. Not from the boss, babe, wounded, masculine, burnout mode of overdrive and overwhelm, but from a deeply connected space of knowing and integrating your feminine essence aligned with your own inner masculine presence and protection. Practice increasing your capacity to know what turns you on, ask for what lights you up, and delight in receiving your desire. Shadow body integration and pleasure body activation are two wings of the bird, dependent upon each other to soar through embodying your version of great love, vibrant health, and abundant wealth in order to create the life you imagine in service to love. A key element to reset is that you do not need to sacrifice, compromise, or play small, or believe the dominant program and cultural conditioning that you are not good enough, not worthy, and don't deserve to thrive and enjoy your life. You deserve to create the wealth, health, and love you imagine, and even more than you can imagine. Embody Wealthy is not a Pollyanna version of you can have it all with no issues in life. The focus is being able to navigate the messiness of being human, ride the energies of fucking chaos of what's happening in the world, and learn how to use all that is as fuel for your creative fire to light up you and your life. Stop resisting the challenges. Skillfully surf the waves, ride the chaos, and weather the storm. You are the waves, chaos, and the storm. Be the woman that is a living embodiment of your pleasurable purpose. How can you embody wealthy today? No matter what the reasons are that your mind says you cannot, that you're not ready, you don't deserve it. It's dangerous. You don't have enough money. You're not skinny enough, curvy enough, smart enough, young enough, old enough. Grew up on the wrong side of town. You didn't go to the right school or get the right job. You've been divorced. Blah, blah, blah. Take a gentle breath. Place your hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly and say, I believe in you. I love you. I know what you've been through, and I know what you're capable of. In this moment, I take back my pleasure power. I embrace all the pain I have experienced, and I choose to live in alignment with love and with my soul values. I take daily actions aligned in service to love. What does making millions have to do with it? And why does this have to be about money? I've been a spiritual practitioner since my near-death experience, often called an NDE, at 6 months old, and I've participated in many spiritual communities for over 35 years. The dominant paradigm of spirituality and money being incompatible and not allowed to be discussed in the same sentence is insane, and it's got to stop. I am here to transform the money myth, that money is not spiritual, because I believe that when you align your spiritual values with your soul purpose, speak your truth with love and power, that money can transform what's fucked up about humanity. You may wonder why I'm making a public declaration about wanting to support 100,000 women to become millionaires. I have never made $1 million in 1 year, never cared much about becoming a millionaire. I have sold millions in products and services in my career. I've helped women make millions and become millionaires. I've helped businesses make millions too. I was telling myself a story that my business and my story wasn't good enough because I have mentors that I have hired that have been in business less than half the time I have, or even less than 10 years, and they're making $10 million per year, or $6 million in 2 months. So why would you hire me instead of them? Boom. I saw the core issue that many of my clients struggle with, not being good enough and being late, being stuck in the persecution story that I will be killed, burned at the stake, or cast out for speaking my truth, of wanting to create a global network of soul-centered women millionaires. I have never made $1 million in a year. So why am I declaring this so publicly now? Making millions in 1 year is an outrageous intention, and making it public and not being afraid of failing is why. My intention for sharing this here is to demonstrate being a woman that is unapologetically discovering my desire, claiming my desire, and reaching my desire, and receiving my desire of $1 million per year business. I'm also not attached to this happening in 2022, although I am taking daily aligned actions to create the systems and structure aligned with my soul in order for this to happen. No matter what happens, I am creating the impact I desire and getting out of my own way and transforming the soul blocks that are slowing me down from my mission to help 100,000 women make millions in service to love. If I do not reach $1 million in a year, I'm still gonna fucking celebrate. I'm going to celebrate that I claimed my desire and shared my journey to inspire you to set outrageous intentions. I will make $1 million in a year at some point. I'm taking action aligned with my desire, and I'm open to receiving $1 million per year or more. I can feel the path and the momentum that my desire is creating, and I'm inviting you to join me with your own outrageous desire. The reality of me making $1 million per year in my business means helping a lot of other women make a lot of money, which is a win-win for the greater good. It is impossible for me to fail, since setting the intention of doing business in service to love is already rewarding me with more than I can even imagine. I know without a doubt my business will generate millions per year. I feel it, I know it, and so it is. You still may be wondering, what if I fail in my Make Millions experiment? What if you could change your mind about rejection and failure being a good thing in your life? Here's your invitation to build resilience through a rejection and failure practice. What the what? Did I just say rejection and failure practice? Oh yes. Yes, I did. What that means is that you practice extending yourself beyond your comfort zone on a daily basis and actively keep asking until you find your edge where people will say no. This isn't about badgering people until they say no. It's about taking risks and asking bigger, more life-changing questions and transforming your fear of rejection and failure. I know this is a stretch, because most of you have decided that rejection and failure are a bad thing to be avoided at all cost. I want you to see, feel, and know how rejection and failure are essential to your success. When you were a kid, you were more willing to fail when you learned something new. Think about walking, talking, eating, writing, or riding a bike. When you were learning to walk, you fell down hundreds of times before you managed to walk across the room. The same thing was true with eating or writing or riding a bike or running. You were willing to fail and to practice playfully expanding your abilities until you mastered a new skill. Think about eating on your own. You had food all over the place, all over your face, all over your hands. You might have even rubbed it on your body and in your hair. And it felt like a massive success when you got a single bite in your own mouth. Let's restore the same sense of innocence and play to your life and business now. In childhood, you consistently played at the edge of your comfort zone. But somewhere along the way, you learned that rejection and failure should be avoided. How can you change your mind and decide that rejection and failure are practices to work on every day? In order to expand your comfort zone and expand your capacity, when you reach the edge of your comfort zone and keep going, you discover the rejection and failure are actually a positive, since they help you become the best version of yourself. They guide you to achieve your dreams, goals, and to create success in your life on your terms. I invite you to make rejection and failure a daily practice. Building your rejection and failure muscles is like building any muscles. You work on them in small doses, a few reps at a time, with rest in between. Even once they are strong, you keep training them to maintain your strength. Posting on social media is one level of challenge in this, yet a bigger, harder challenge comes when you reach out to someone you know in real life and they don't even reply. Ouch. Your mind will make up stories about what that means. I'm broken, I'm unlovable, I'm not important, and nobody cares about me. Boo-hoo, poor me. The rejection and failure practice is focused on extending out from your heart with love. And there is an infinite supply of love within your heart. So don't be attached to the outcome, because the love that you send out will create waves. It will make an impact, and it will become easier with practice. When you are clear about the kinds of connections you want to create and why, it becomes easier to let go of attachment to the outcome. When you can extend beyond your comfort zone, knowing that you are building your rejection and failure muscles, which will serve and support your life and purpose. When you can change your mind about rejection and failure, you will create success with ease and grace. Become willing to fail. Change your story about rejection and failure. Make being rejected a daily practice that you celebrate. Make it playful. Refuse to let the results take you down, but instead let your efforts lift you up. Let reaching out in service to love and the greater good fuel you from the infinite source that cannot run out. You can change your story, your mind, and your life by reaching the edge of your capacity, by reaching the edge of your comfort zone and not stopping there. Just like building any muscle, when you regularly do the rejection and failure practice and refuse to collapse, or fall down into the downward spiral. You will confidently begin to expand your capacity and confidence and become unstoppable in your mission. Build your capacity and strength in order to create the life and business you imagine. Once you've done this practice for a period of time, you will be more confident and have greater courage in taking bigger risks, reaching for bigger goals, and therefore being completely unfazed by rejection and failure, but instead celebrating it. Fear of rejection will no longer stop you. Fear of failure will no longer keep you playing small in your life, because at the edge of your comfort zone is where your creative soul power lives. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to co-create and embody wealthy with you. You're listening to the Embody Wealthy podcast, the lightning path for world-changing women to make millions, embody wealthy, and create the life you imagine in service to love. You can access all episodes of the podcast and any goodies mentioned in this episode at embodywealthypodcast.com/12. If you are interested to explore Embody Wealthy mentorship options, please visit embodyyourlegacy.com and fill out an application. I believe in you and the magic power of your soul. For more revolutionary teachings and tools, please follow on your favorite podcast app or visit embodywealthypodcast.com. I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode. I am sending you so much love.